Cool. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I'm not sure what time it is you're watching this video. I'm sitting here at home in Port Elizabeth with Jason Tikok. Jason, good afternoon. It's afternoon for us, yeah.
Yeah, it's afternoon.
Yeah.
Thank you, Africa. It's such a privilege to be with you today, and thank you for having me in your house.
Yeah, it's brilliant. We actually met at the School of Governance, the September intensive, online. And now we're meeting in person. So tell me about it. Where did you hear about the School of Governance? And you registered. You're one of the people who attended. So how did you hear about it?
Yeah, so it was actually during the lockdown. A friend of mine, we have a group of friends who we're intentionally trying to grow in our understanding of economics and politics and the social matters within the country. And so one of my friends had heard about the School of Governance, and he told us, guys, like, this is a really good thing that we should get involved in. Let's all do it together. And so we all registered for it, probably about a month or two before it actually happened. And then we attended it. We attended together. We went to go sit in a coffee shop together, get some good Wi-Fi, and we were discussing the sessions together.
That's amazing. You are from Stellenbosch, right?
Originally, I'm from Richards Bay in KZN, but I was in Stellenbosch for the conference. Yeah.
Right. And then, so anything what we'd say take away from you? I mean, there's just a number of very powerful principles that were distilled in the conference. But what would you say is your one takeaway, one principle? From any of the speakers that you would say stood out for you? Yeah,
so just some context. So for me, I know I have a calling for ministry, and also just speaking into circles of influence with the biblical worldview. So definitely for me, what really stood out was the introduction to the biblical worldview on governance. And I paid a lot of attention to that. I've been trying to grow with that. But I think the overall thing that I learned most important was to know that there are so many people who have a biblical vision for this country, and even internationally within Africa and the rest of the world, that to grow in your understanding of God's purposes in your country, that there are people that God is raising up to drive that, to drive that narrative in our government circles and leadership circles.
Yeah. And you're part of Shofar Church, right? When you're in Stellenbosch.
Yes.
And right now, you told me you're part of a church plant.
Yeah.
That's in Botswana.
Yes, up in Maun, yeah.
So, okay, I don't know what it is. I just know Gaborone. Botswana. And so it's a new church plant.
Yes.
And you said that you had to take a break because of the COVID restrictions, and you're back.
Yeah.
As soon as the lockdown, the restrictions are over, you're going back to... This is it for you. Calling to ministries is really something you feel very passionate about.
Yes. Yeah, so just to give a bit of a story for that, we're busy laying foundations for a church plant, and for me personally, I feel that the Lord is really calling me to ministry, but also to be called within the workplace. So I had a full-time job while I was there, and then on my off time and my weekends, I was working on the different aspects of the church plant. So getting a small group going and working with the other ministries in the area. But unfortunately, when the lockdowns hit, I could no longer be in Botswana, and I lost the job. So now it's just being patient and waiting for the Lord to open the door in the right way and at the right time. But in the meantime, I was able to attend things like School of Governance and get back to some of the roots.
And you trained as also the data scientist, you said.
Well, that was my job title. I have a Bachelor of Science. But you're constantly learning, doing courses along the way, and looking at doing a second degree starting next year as well online.
But now you're in Port Elizabeth.
Yeah.
We need to hear that story. Because we met online, right? We didn't know each other before the School of Governance, right?
Not at all.
Now we're sitting together in my kitchen. How did that happen?
All the way in Port Elizabeth. It's a crazy story, but I think it starts even probably before the School of Governance. But for me in my life, I've recognized that I'm in a season very similar to what Timothy was in when Paul was writing letters to him, when he was sent to go lead the church in Ephesus. But Timothy was a leader, but he was still young, and he needed to grow. He needed older, experienced men to guide him and to show him in the right ways. And so when the School of Governance came, it was one of the things of I need to train my hands. I need to prepare myself for the field. And then it was one of the sessions that one of the electives, which you were a part of, on emerging leaders.
Yes.
And you were telling a story. You were saying, when you were younger and you realized you needed to learn from older men and to be surrounded, to be discipled. You said, even if you didn't know the man, to get into that space of knowing, you said you were offering to wash people's cars and you would polish their tires just so you could spend some time with them. So I thought, hey, I'm going to take this man by his word. I'm going to give it a chance. This is crazy, but okay. So I sent you a private message in the Zoom call. I said, well, can I come wash your dishes? I'm in Stellenbosch, but here's my number. And I was very grateful that you replied and that you were willing to welcome me into your house. Obviously, we did have a bit of a conversation in between, just to make sure that I'm not some crazy guy.
Some dude, some stalker. You've been here for it's Friday today. You arrive on Wednesday.
Wednesday,
so it's been 2 days. And what does it mean for you? I mean, it's a very strange thing. Traveling on the bus to PE, I was just thinking, and I was telling my girlfriend, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I have no idea. What kind of expectations do I have to have for this? But I just realized that when you have Lord at your side, he prepares the fields before you, prepares the paths before you. And I think just coming here and learning, there's definitely, I know you're very focused on cross-cultural ministry, and you have a lot of experience in church planting and ministry, and also in just general corporate governance. Just sitting and listening around the kitchen, this very kitchen table, sitting and listening to your crazy stories. You pick some things up along the way, and I've been writing them down and making sure that these things I'm gonna be listening to, and that's gonna educate the way I do things in the future. But that's what discipleship's all about. Is to learn from older people, more experienced. You know what you did? You took some things we speak as theory, because in a holistic and also a theoretical position, we always say this is how it ought to be done, right? We sit down together with people, we share meals, and we're informal. Really, most of the learning happens informally. But then you took it like literal. Okay, let's do it. Because I would have just put that out there and left it. This is how you do it. You spend time, you share your meal together. You're like, let's do it. So then you sure you're rocking up, right? You're like, I'm here for what you said. It's kind of crazy. I picked you up at the bus and I'm taking you back again to the bus. It's been a pleasure having you with us. Thank you for the supper last night. Butter chicken. So you made supper for us. Enjoyed it. So thank you for joining us, School of Governance people. Everybody else is interested. It's a wonderful program we're having to train and prepare leaders for governance and nations of the world in different spheres of governance. It's a pioneering project happening here in South Africa. So thank Michael Louis and Gareth Stead, were pioneers of it, and many who attended, different speakers we had on the program, wonderful input. And I think I want to encourage all of those of you who have been part of it and those who are thinking of being part of it. It's great. It's life-changing. Thank you, Jason, for being bold and courageous.
Thank you.
Just coming, just rocking up somewhere. And we're being hungry, most importantly, and knowing what you want and going after it. Awesome.
Amen.
Good.
Awesome.
Right.